So I've been in business about 25 years now. And in the beginning, we really focused on exposure potential and exposure issues regarding mold. And so, you have mold is the health issue. The cause of the entire problem is water. But my point is that as the business has progressed, what I've learned is that it's not just the mold, it's also the mycotoxins that are the chemicals that the molds create. And these are well accepted. These mycotoxins are categorized and they're used in the medical industry, i.e., would be penicillin. Used metaphenolic acid is a product of penicillin and aspergillus, and it's actually sold in a trade name, and it's used as a suppression of your immune system so that organ transplants are not rejected. So molds are accepted also in the pharmaceutical industry and the food industry. It's an expected use of molds. All right, so my point is that when I do assessments, it's not just the molds, it's the mycotoxins that we try to evaluate. And the way you evaluate these is by collecting samples of dust, because the technical literature shows that for every spore you see, you're going to have 320 fragments of mycotoxins. So you may not actually easily see mold on surfaces of a home, but if you identify the presence of mycotoxins, you know that you have a reservoir somewhere in the home. So the reason I'm saying this is that what we're talking about is we get phone calls from people that say, my doctor says that I have mycotoxins in my body, or I'm sick, and no one can figure out what's wrong. So we go in and we evaluate the property for mycotoxins. We do look for the mold, but really we are focused on the mycotoxins. And we'll collect maybe a samples of 15 or 20 samples in like for example, a basement on the overhead floor joists on some of the furniture. And we're looking for the presence of mold, because what you can do is you can analyze for a panel of, say, 11 mycotoxins, identify what molds are able to create those toxins, and then look at your slide samples and see whether or not those molds are present in the home, and then you can really focus on what needs to be remediated. When you have a mycotoxin contaminated issue in a home, you really have to clean those structures differently. You've really got to use negative air pressure, and you've got to clean in detail those surfaces. It's nothing to mess around with. Bob Bennett, Farsight Management. It's better use Farsight than hindsight.